Welcome to... Ooh, that's a bit loud, wasn't it? That's a bit too much, that was. Okay. Welcome to the GCN Show.
Yeah, coming up, we wrap up all the important stories from the tours of Romandie, Turkey and Yorkshire, plus the hour record falls again.
And we debate, is starting out in racing too expensive?
Yeah, and on a more serious note, we also have an incredible story of a man who draws penises around potholes in order to get them fixed quicker.
Don't want to miss that.
Yeah, plus we've also got caption and tweet of the week.
Belter of a show, really, isn't it? Can't wait to film that.
Absolute belter.
Former British national time trial champ Alex Dowsett has smashed the world hour record with a very mature, measured ride to get 52.937 kilometres.
Yeah, and when we say measured, we mean measured. If you'd like to learn how to time trial and pace perfectly, then just take a look at these split times. This man knows time trialling inside out, and really of the previous attempts, it's only Jens Vogt who's come close to such pacing perfection.
Yeah, our handy graphics come again from the Twitter profile of Xavier Disley, PhD. Now that's Xavier Disley.
You know, Dr. Xavier?
Dr. Xavier Disley, not Professor Xavier from the X-Men.
There was a gag in there somewhere, but
We lost it. But what about the socks of Alex Dowsett? It looks like he had overshoes on. Of course, they're banned, but those socks, pretty special.
Aero socks.
Definitely made a difference.
You got a sock fetish?
I just like socks, especially shiny ones.
Caption of the week now. Last week we gave you this photograph, and the winner is Andrew G with this effort. Well, that's certainly not the reason you've been going uphill so slowly.
Pretty good.
That is pretty good. Get in touch, Andrew, and we will send you your GCN swag.
Now, this week's photo is this one posted by Simon Gerrans with his feet wrapped up in cling film. As per usual, we'll get you started, and this week it's Matt who's going to get you started with something that you should all be able to beat.
2 minutes in the microwave, pierce film before cooking.
I think that's good, actually.
See?
That's
Great
pretty good.
effort, mate.
Thanks very
Well
much.
done, Matt.
Cheers. Thanks, Simon. Or Gero.
Garrow.
The big story from the Tour of Turkey, aside from the fact that Dead Rebellion got taken out by a dog when it ran into the peloton, was the sprints. Now, Mark Cavendish was in fine form, taking 3 stages along the way. Andrew Greipel also took one too.
Yeah, so Greipel's now off to the Giro, whereas Cav is off to the Tour of California. And I think it's worth mentioning that his Tour de France form is looking pretty good now this year, isn't it?
9 wins already, so it's flying.
Yeah, not looking too bad at all, Mark Cavendish, but we should also note that it was a fine overall win as well for the Croatian Christian Dusek of Team Lampre Merida, which prompted this tweet from La Passione. Presumably next up is the Dusek bunny. So over to you, photoshoppers.
That was a good joke, wasn't it?
That was very good. Potholes in the road are annoying, costly and dangerous. But for us cyclists, they're kind of part and parcel of riding really. But when a hole gets big enough to take your whole front wheel, that's when it really gets to be an issue.
Yes, but one chap in Bury in the north of England has come up with an ingenious way to make his council sit up and take note and fix those potholes very quickly. Yep, you just spray paint a giant penis around the hole. Childish? Yes. Effective? Also yes.
Guys, have you seen this? That's not just any old bloke graffitiing. It's actually, look, he signed it, Banksy. That's a genuine Banksy.
No, sorry, look a little bit closer. That doesn't say Banksy.
Oh, crikey, no, it doesn't say Banksy.
No. And not that we're encouraging this. It's just quite interesting, really, isn't it?
I could only highlight small holes though.
We're not putting that in the show again, Dan, so don't try.
The inaugural Tour de Yorkshire took place last weekend, and if the crowds on the side of the road were anything to go by, it was a huge success. And organisers ASO will be particularly pleased about that, given that they've backed the event for a full 10 years.
Yeah, and Lars Petter Nordahl of Team Sky won a very tough first stage after his teammate and probably pre-race favourite Ben Swift crashed out with just 60k to go. He was part of an elite 5-man group that included Samuel Sanchez and Thomas Vogler. And then stage 2 was won by Moreno Hofland, and he broke his team's duck, so that's Lotto NL Jumbo, by taking their first win of the season.
Yeah, the final stage into Leeds was taken by BMC's Ben Hermans. Now, he attacked from a select group on the running, catching Lawson Craddock with about 3 kilometres to go, who in fact had been away himself for about 60 k's. Now, Nordhaug racked up the overall, with Sammy Sanchez in second and Vogler in third.
Yeah, interesting that Hermans kind of went full gas and then rode solid tempo.
Very interesting.
Some of the big Tour de France contenders were in action over at the Tour of Romandie in Switzerland, continuing their build-up to July. But not Quintana, Nibali, nor two-time Romandie winner Chris Froome could actually match young Ilnur Zakarin of Katusha, who took his first major career win.
Yeah, notable ride too from one of the Tour de France favourite, Thibaut Pinot of France. He took 4th overall, but a notable solo stage win to Champaigne-Lac.
Yeah, and that was a summit finish too.
So it was.
Dropping Quintana, Froome,
By 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Very, very strong ride by the Frenchman.
Champaigne-Lac, was it?
It's Champaigne-Lac.
Champaigne-Lac.
Champaigne-Lac. Just stick it. We'll stick it on a graphic. Champaigne-Lac. Champaigne-Lac.
Well, Grand Tour season is upon us with the Giro d'Italia. However, here in the US, it's also Grand Tour season in a sense. There are 3 big major stage races. The Amgen Tour of California starting on Sunday, and later in the season, the Tour of Utah, and then the USA Pro Challenge. Those are the 3 big ones here stateside. You can watch my top 10 riders to watch at the Amgen Tour of California on the channel later this week. And then starting next week, I'll be providing footage daily from the race, so check back for that.
Now, we know how much all of you like an intellectual GCN debate, and there's one coming up for you right now, sparked by an article in the British newspaper The Telegraph with the headline, £25,550, the cost of amateur bike racing, written by a keen amateur cyclist.
Yeah, so naturally we did read on, and as I did so personally, I got a crosser and crosser because it reads like a list. Yeah, it reads like a list of what you can spend on bike racing, not what you have to spend in order to win bike races. But it does spark an interesting point, and that is that are you at a disadvantage if you're using cheaper equipment?
I think when you're first starting out the sport at the lower levels, I think as long as you've got a bike that's functional, the wheels are pretty solid, it's going to get you through the race and everything works okay. It's all about your ability as an athlete really, and that's what you should work on. And you can pick up a pretty decent road bike, full carbon bike with the Ultrago componentry for about £1,000 now, and that's not too bad. Nowhere near 6k.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to try and deny that cycling is a more expensive sport than, say, for example, running. But at the end of the day, the equipment really is the icing on the cake. The stuff we see the pros use at the top end doesn't make as much difference as position on the bike and a load of other factors like training. So don't be put off if you haven't got a top-end piece of equipment straight away. No,
and let's not forget tactics either, because if you're tactically astute and you're sheltering from the wind, then that's the biggest advantage you can make, isn't it?
Get your nutrition right as well. Lots of other factors that are more important, I think, when you're starting out.
Yeah.
So not so much of a debate then as just drilling of this keen amateur cyclist, but there you go.
We disagree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah, well, my tweet of the week comes from I Am Cycling's Larry Warbass, who wrote this from the Tour of Romandie. Have to say sorry to Simon Gerrans today for the chain drop karate kick at the bottom of the last climb. Did not mean to do that. Sounds like Simon Gerrans' bad luck continues. He just cannot find a break this year. Tweet had me thinking, guys, did any of you ever accidentally karate kick anyone during your professional racing careers?
Well, not really when I was a pro, but since I've joined GCN, there's been a couple of times. Well, as the victim, anyway.
Really?
You in particular, Mallorca.
Oh, on that climb?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did chop you, didn't I?
Yeah,
Chopped you
big
good
time.
in there.
That was
that karate chop, just a chop?
all of them.
Wax on, wax off.
Can you remember the biggest name rider that you've chopped in a race? I chopped Pataki really badly once.
Did he have a go at you?
No, he didn't. He was so cool about it. It just kind of like, whatever. But
I actually chopped Armstrong in the Tour de France when I was riding for the Cervelo test team, and he had a massive go at me for it. Yeah.
On the channel this week, on Wednesday, it's how to cycle your first 50 miles.
5 golden tips to help you on your way.
First thing to look at is your fitness and the type of course. So if you're new to the sport and it's a hilly route, you could look to average around 10 miles an hour. And also our Giro preview show. On Thursdays, the top 10 riders to watch at the Tour of California and the Giro. 2 separate videos there.
2 videos?
2 videos.
And on Friday, we'll be bringing you another recce film from the Tour of California. This time it's Stage 7, again with myself and Dave Zabriskie. And Saturday's pro bike is Julian Arredondo of Trek, where his time trial bike, which actually has 650B wheels.
Little.
Sunday is off the back as usual, and then on Monday, Dan shows you how to choose the perfect cycling helmet. I assume that's cycling helmet. How to find the right helmet.
Yeah.
And of course Tuesday,
be a
back here
motorbike
again.
one.
Yeah, and don't forget as well that we will be out at the Giro and
Forgot
reporting
about that.
back from there as well. Yo, don't forget, mate, we've got a flight to catch tomorrow.
We better get ourselves off in a minute, haven't we?
Get yourself up. Can't say that. Right, that's your lot this week. We genuinely do actually have to go and get on a plane out to Italy.
Giro of Italy. We're going.
Gyro, I think it is, isn't
The
it?
Giro of Italy.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we
We're
go,
gonna
let's
be
push
there.
a couple of videos we've got up here. Tour of California Stage 5 recce video with myself and Dave Zabriskie.
And down here is a top 10 riding in California shizzle tips with Neil.
Have we got time to ask them to subscribe?
Subscribe to GCN. Right, come on, let's go.
It's absolutely free.
Wait, like the video.
Tell your mates. Like us.
Thumbs up.
We've got a
Share
plane
it.
to catch.
We've got a
Right, come on in.
I'm
have.
on the bike, yeah?
Let's go.